Folks, come on in here. I'm not going to be long. I'm not going to be long at all. Just a couple of seconds. I'm here at the church. I'm not going to be long at all. Just come on in real quick. I have a quick announcement. Come on in with me, people. Only going to take a couple of seconds for this. Just a couple of seconds. I don't know where to start. Boy, oh boy. Brothers and sisters, be sure to join us on Blogtalk Radio tomorrow here on YouTube at this very same channel. Make sure you're here at 6:30. I'm going to tell you, I believe sisters everywhere and brothers need to begin to stand up against this Zionist media portraying us in a certain light, right? I don't want to hear nothing else about slavery unless they're going to go to Deuteronomy 28 and tell blacks everywhere that we are the true children of Israel, okay? That have been enslaved under a curse by the Almighty by breaking God's law. You see this crap I have on my screen here? I'm going to tell you this. And I'm going to be a spoiler right now, real quick, right? Harriet Tubman, right? Harriet Tubman was a real, what I would call historical, what you would call inspiration for us. For years, she's been an inspiration for us, that we can fight, that we as a people in oppression can fight against the system. But I'm starting to look at this Harriet Tubman thing quite differently now. First of all, it was about slavery. Why would the Zionists promote a black woman and call her Black Moses as if the real Moses who freed the slaves weren't black? That's number one. And I'm not going to be here long. I'm just here to give you a quick update for tomorrow. The real Moses was black. So we didn't need a Black Moses. And what type of freedom was afforded black people? To flee from the South to get enslaved in the North. I'm tired of these slave stories depicting us in a negative light. And brothers and sisters, I will implore you not to spend a dime on this trash. Don't go and support this at all. Okay? Everything black is in us, folks. Everything black is in us. Check this out. I'm just gonna let a few tips out of the bag before the show tomorrow. Okay, our show tomorrow night at 6:30. You don't want to miss this, sisters. It's time for you to stand up. These are the decrepit women representing our sisters today. Decrepit. Skull and bones, satanic harlotry is representing the daughters of Zion. And it's time for our sisters to stand up against this Zionist Christian, and let me say it again, Christian representation of black women. Okay? Hot, stinking messes we're seeing before you. This Casey Lemons is a Zionist tool used through Disney to portray our sisters and our people in the wrong light. And tomorrow night on Blog Talk, right here on this channel, A Gathering 144, the topic for tomorrow night is groundbreaking, and I need a lot of you sisters to chime in tomorrow with me, especially. Slave indoctrination programming. When will this end? for us. When will this end? Every other liberation style or type production leads to some level of political change for other races of people. I can understand why the Jewish people were pushing Schindler's List with a lot of the legislation on the book that would afford them reparations, power, influence, and really a system in place that wouldn't allow another Hitler to ever rise again. When the other nations have a liberation movie or a freedom movie, guess what? The enemy is utterly eradicated. The enemy is utterly eradicated when others are standing up against injustices. Right? What have we benefited? How have slave movies benefited black people? At all. I don't want to hear another thing about some slave unless it's talking about the slaves that came out of Egypt who are now enslaved throughout the earth, who are the lost sheep of the tribe of Israel. I don't want to see no bed wenching slavery things. I don't want to, and folks, look at these two hot messes here that we will not support, right? Demons with hair, right? Spoiler alert. And guess what? It need to be spoiled. Don't support this movie, brothers and sisters. Don't support it at all. Okay? Where your heart is, your treasure shall be also. Right? This demon on the left, and I'm going to demon with hair, says this is not a slave movie. You know what it is? It's a black empowerment feminist movie against men. Because guess what, folks? The enemy in the movie isn't our oppressors. Aren't the people who've dragged us over here to have us serve under some fake Christianity that they're pushing on us, right? The enemy of this movie is a fictitious character made up that wasn't even living. It has nothing to do with the slave Harriet narrative, right? They made a fictitious character of a black man as a bounty hunter, where the white people and others have orchestrated with her to help protect her from the bad black bounty hunter who's trying to pull her back into servitude. The enemy is not the government altogether. It's not the slave master. The slave master and her really have a thing going on, right? The enemy of Harriet Tubman is the black man in this narrative. Are you kidding me? Harriet Tubman would roll over in her grave. I mean, can you make this up? And I'm so tired of our people supporting this crap. CNN, the liberal movement, the Democrats, everyone, and I'm saying Democrats in particular because that's the only party they think we have enough sense to even think about, even though the Republicans are the same satanic, are part of the same satanic monster. But the progressive destruction of our people, black people, is primarily from the Democratic Party. Let me just say it right out. They're championing this movie as some type of breakthrough for black women. Sisters, let me tell you, you're going to have to start standing up for how they're representing you. Have your voices be known that you will support nothing that's against your man. Okay? They made a fictitious character that didn't live at all during Harriet Tubman's time as the true enemy of the slaves who were trying to get free. This is a Christian agenda, a Zionist agenda. And it keeps brothers and sisters under a slave mentality. They got this chick running around like she's Superman. A travesty. Normally, I would look at this hot, stinking mess here. Normally, I would support something that belonged to our people. And I need y'all to check this out, folks. The Nat Turner movie, it's as if the brother that did the Nat Turner movie, it's as if he fell off the end of the earth, right? He no longer exists in Hollywood because of that movie. They censored the movie, a true depiction of what happened when black people were really, truly fighting against the power, like a Nat Turner. And they made sure that certain movies, they limited the number of cinemas or theaters who could play that movie. This particular movie is being played everywhere without censorship. It's a stinking hot mess. And brothers and sisters, y'all need to tune in tomorrow as we go into slave indoctrination programming. When will this end? Another black slave movie, which gives no hope to real change for our people, being peddled by black peasants. Being peddled by black peasants. Okay, that's who they are. Okay, I don't want to hear nothing about a slave movie if it's not depicting our people in a positive light as the children of Israel that was prophesied to serve in a strange land. Babylon, the daughter of Babylon, like it says in Psalms 137. Didn't you have enough of this crap? Roots. Oh, master, one days I'm going to be free one days. One of these days, master. One of these days, I's going to be free. You pick that cotton real good now. You hear? Master Cakes is upset with you. I'm running down north. I was going down north to be free. Let me tell you, this is straight mockery. Backhanded mockery against us, folks. Every other liberation picture out there from other races of people lead to some type of political change within the earth. Schindler's List led to monuments being built to Jewish people all over the earth. Gave them political power to a degree where no one can speak anything against them without repercussion. They gained full power and political protection internationally through their movies, through their cinemas. Reparations upward towards the trillions have been given to the Jewish people since Schindler's List and all other movies portraying a short span of time of what you would call a Holocaust. Our Holocaust spans since 70 AD. In every movie, they have us picking cotton, running north, running from one side of the slave country to the next. Simple as a day's old. When the real narrative of slavery is in the book of Deuteronomy 28 and 68. We have history that predates slave ships, and they're not even telling that story right. Correct. That there were many black people free here in America already. Okay? They're not telling those stories right. That all black people weren't slaves. They would like you to believe they were slaves. The North American Indians were Negroid. Okay? They were Negroid people over here before we got here. Now, in order for them to take over what you would call property really of eccentric value within the United States to Europeans, they began to have their little powwows and act like they were North American Indians, right? And as each generation filtered out, they put the North American Indians and other black tribes in the black pool and begin to call them African Americans also, so that we don't know the difference. See? They're not even giving you the true slave story, right? All of black people here weren't property, okay? They're not even giving you the story of what really happened over in Africa, why Africa had a negotiation with them to build big garrisons, because what? Slave commodity meant big money. That it was a business between our people in Africa and white people over here. So why they really don't want to talk about the true narratives of slavery, because it's multifaceted. It's not just some Negro summer. Yes, I'm going to be picking this cotton this morning, and I better once master allow me to read. If he let me read, maybe I'll get me a degree. It's way more multifaceted than this. On every level, they're pandering. They're really pandering to peasantry. And we're no longer peasantry. We are royalty. You understand that? And man has no power to enslave the black man. Let me make it clear. It's a curse that's been put on us by our God, which allowed these Gentiles to roll for a minute. You really have no power to enslave us. Okay, it was our God that allowed you to do this. Why? Because of our disobedience against him. You're just trying to roll back the clock with some type of spellbinding programming to make us believe that we're predisposed to being slaves and being under white people. The curse is done. It's over. Our people will begin to wake up. And I'm going to tell you this right now, brothers and sisters, it's time to turn our back on all of these movies that lead to nothing. Any programming, guess what? Show how you feel through your dollars. Don't support the movie. Don't support it at all. A matter of fact, you sisters, you get some YouTube pages. You start talking about how this doesn't really represent you as a daughter of Zion, that you are regal, you are royal. Okay? And you can look forward to more than just being some side piece of massa. Got me all wired up in here. Got me fired up, misrepresenting us. Well, I have nothing else to say. Don't support this movie. It's a misrepresentation of what our sisters are better than this. You're way better than this. And keep in mind, they've actually created a black man's character as a bounty hunter, as the true enemy of the black woman in this movie. These hot, stinking messes here. And these people do not represent our sisters. They're the lower of the lowest. The bottom of the barrel you see in here. The bottom of the barrel. They need to repent. She needs to go ahead and shave her head off for shame and grow her hair back right. She looks like a hot, stinking mess. She's misrepresenting. Both of these women do not represent the daughters of Zion. Be there tomorrow on Blogtalk. Don't miss it. I'll be here live on YouTube tomorrow. Slave indoctrination programming. You don't want to miss it. Hot, 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 feminine feces. See you tomorrow. Shalom.